11,000 years ago, someone buried the world's first temple on purpose, and nobody knows why. They did not abandon it, they carefully entombed it under tons of rubble. Whoever did it hid the reason from us forever. This is Göbekli Tepe, and the burial is the real mystery. Everyone talks about the carvings, but I want the backfill. Here's the strange thing. The site was drowned in dirt on purpose. Not by a flood, not by time, but by human hands. And that deliberate act preserved the oldest temple on Earth, still unexplained today in the dark. First, understand how impossibly old this place is. Göbekli Tepe was built around 9,600 BC in southern Turkey. That is 6,000 years before the Great Pyramid rose. It predates Stonehenge by more than 6,000 years. Hunter-gatherers raised it before farming, pottery, or writing. They had no metal, no wheel, and no draft animals yet, and nobody can say for sure. And still they carved and stood pillars weighing up to 20 tons. The pillars are shaped like a giant letter T, 5 meters tall. They ring huge enclosures, arranged in careful circles. Foxes, boars, snakes, and vultures crawl across their faces. Now, here's the fact that stops archaeologists cold, gray, and silent. These stone circles were deliberately filled back in, a secret sealed for good. Someone hauled thousands of tons of debris to bury them. They packed rubble, flint, and animal bone tight around each pillar. This was not neglect. It was a massive, organized effort in dead silence. Burying a temple is far more work than just leaving it. So the burial itself carried some deep, urgent meaning. Now feel the strangeness of that choice with me, a method long since vanished. You build a sacred place over generations of labor under a dark sky. Then you choose to bury it completely, out of sight. And you do it so well the site survives 11,000 years. Now here's the first theory, a ritual killing of the place. Some believe they ceremonially retired each enclosure. When a circle finished its purpose, they put it to rest, and the record was silenced. Burying it may have sealed its power away safely in the cold gray stone. Like closing a holy book, nobody may open again. Now, here's the second theory, pure preservation. Maybe they buried it to protect it from weather and rivals. Soil is a perfect blanket against frost, wind, and time, lit only by fire. If so, the plan worked better than they could dream. Now here's the third theory, and it is unsettling, lost to time forever. Perhaps a new generation wanted the old gods gone. Burying the past is how cultures sometimes start again in the red torchlight. A clean slate demands the old temple vanish underground. But every theory runs into the same brutal wall. Not one of them can be proven from the dirt alone. The people left no writing to tell us their reason, and the answer still defies us as the smoke clears. So the why of the burial stays completely unexplained. Now here's a challenge you can try in your own mind. Ask why you would ever bury something you built to last. Every answer you invent, the ancients might have felt too. Guess how much of this site is still underground? Only about 5% has ever been dug out. Ground scans reveal around 20 more buried enclosures still unexplained today. An entire temple complex still sleeps beneath the soil where the fire dies low. Now here's what the burial accidentally gave us. Because it was sealed, the carvings survived almost perfect. Sharp animal reliefs that should have eroded to nothing. The dirt froze a single Stone Age moment in place. We are reading a message its senders tried to hide. Now here's why this rewrites human history. We long believed farming came first, then temples followed. Göbekli Tepe flips that order completely on its head, and nobody can say for sure. The temple may have come first, and farming followed it. Feeding the crews who built it may have birthed agriculture. So, a buried temple might be the seed of civilization, and its builders chose to hide that seed underground in the dark. Now here's the man who uncovered the secret. Klaus Schmidt began digging the mound in 1994, a secret sealed for good. He realized the hill itself was a human-made grave for stone. He spent his life reading the layers of the backfill.
Schmidt died in 2014 with the burial still unexplained. The question he chased outlived him and outlives us. Now run your eye down one buried pillar's carved face. A snake, a fox, a bird, frozen mid-motion in rock. Each animal meant something we can no longer read, gray and silent, and the people who understood them buried them on purpose. Now here's the part that keeps me up at night. A method long since vanished. They did not lose this temple, they gave it to the earth. A deliberate goodbye, sealed for 11,000 years in dead silence. And we opened a door they clearly wanted shut.
Now look at the two giants standing in each circle's heart. The central pillars are taller, and they are not blank. Carved arms bend down their sides toward carved hands. A belt and a fox-pelt loincloth wrap each one under a dark sky. These are not columns. They are stone beings, watching over us, and the record was silenced. Faceless guardians, buried with their whole temple. Now here's a pillar that sparks fierce debate. The vulture stone shows a bird, a scorpion, a headless man. Some read it as a record of a catastrophe from the sky. Others say it is simply a myth we cannot decode. Either way, its meaning was buried with everything else lost to time forever. Now here's a detail that reverses everything we expect in the cold gray stone. The oldest circles are the largest and most skillfully cut. The later circles are smaller, rougher, and simpler. The skill declined over the centuries, not improved. Something was slowly being lost long before the burial lit only by fire. Now walk to the quarry where the pillars were born, and the answer still defies us. One unfinished pillar still lies in the rock, half cut. It stretches nearly 7 meters and weighs around 50 tons. They abandoned that giant and never freed it from the stone. So even the making of this temple holds unfinished secrets. Now picture the sheer labor the burial truly demanded. Hundreds of people carrying baskets of rubble for weeks in the red torchlight. Feeding that many workers meant gathering food at scale. The temple pulled people together long before villages existed. Then that same crowd sealed the whole thing away. Now here's why the backfill is such a gift to science as the smoke clears. Sealed rubble locks each layer in its exact order. Archaeologists read those layers like pages of a book. Every basket of fill is a frozen Stone Age decision. And the final decision was to hide it all from the sky. Now step back and hold the whole strange picture. The oldest temple, raised by hunters, then entombed on purpose. Preserved by the very act meant to hide it away, still unexplained today where the fire dies low. Guarding a reason no living person will ever know. The full story of Göbekli Tepe runs deeper than one video. The books that document it are linked below free with the trial. Send this to the friend who thinks temples came after farming. If this burial gripped you, the like button helps it spread. Now remember exactly what happened on that hill, and nobody can say for sure in the dark. Hunter-gatherers built a temple 11,000 years ago. Then they buried it under tons of rubble, deliberately, sealing carvings, animals, and their reason all together. Hidden so well it waited until 1994 to be found. Subscribe if you want one impossible ancient object every single day. Now you decide what I uncover next. Vote A for Carnac, 3,000 standing stones in endless rows. Vote B for the Phaistos Disc, printed 3,000 years too early. The comments choose, and I dig up the winner tomorrow. Until then, the burial of Göbekli Tepe stays perfectly unexplained. The world's first temple, entombed on purpose 11,000 years ago. You just met the temple its own builders chose to bury.